So, what if I told you that you don't need a six-figure budget to look like you're rolling in money? That's right. You can spend as little as between $7,000 to $20,000 and still pull into a country club, a high-end neighborhood, or even the valet line at a luxury hotel, and everyone around you will assume you've made it. So today, I'm revealing 8 cheap cars that make you look rich in 2025. Now, before we go any further, these are not junkers with shiny paint jobs. These are genuine luxury sedans, coupes, and SUVs that carry the presence, the prestige, and the aura of wealth without the wallet destroying price tag. So stick with me until the very end, because I'll also share an honorable mention that takes cheap luxury flex to a whole new level. But as you would guess, it comes with a massive catch. So just before we take a deep dive, it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game-changing video that helps you decide which cars to buy and which ones to avoid. I promise you'll appreciate it, so buckle up and let's plunge straight in. So I guess the question is, why does this list even matter? Well, most cars are terrible financial investments. They depreciate fast, they cost thousands in repairs, and they leave you with nothing but stress. However, certain luxury models, often overlooked or forgotten, dip in price on the used market while still carrying that rich person vibe. They've got the styling, they've got the badges, and the presence of a car worth 5 times the price. But the trick is knowing which ones deliver that look without financially crippling you in the process. So as always, we count down backwards, starting with number 8. And at number 8, we have used European station wagons, specifically the Mercedes E-Class and the Volvo V70. Now, European wagons are one of the ultimate quiet luxury hacks. The Mercedes E-Class wagon projects understated wealth. It's the kind of car you'd expect to see outside a prep school, and it's driven by parents who don't need to show off. Similarly, the Volvo V70 has that Scandinavian vibe of old money practicality. They're both comfortable, built to last, and often meticulously maintained by their first owners, meaning that you can find clean examples under $10,000. But the beauty here is subtlety. No flashy wheels, no aggressive stance, just a car that whispers status without shouting it out loud. If you pair it with a tweed jacket or a coffee from an upmarket cafe, well, you'll look like you belong in the Hamptons. On to number 7. Here we've got the Maserati GranTurismo. Now, the GranTurismo is pure Italian theatre on wheels. That Ferrari-derived V8 engine, well, it makes a noise that could wake the dead. And the sleek styling, well, it hasn't aged a single day. Even if you buy a 2008 model, I promise you the car looks nearly identical to a 2025 one, giving you showroom-level presence at a mere fraction of the cost. Now, I will admit maintenance is higher than average, but smart buyers can find well-kept examples where most issues have already been addressed. So for $18,000, well, you're driving something that turns head like a $120,000 supercar. It's the kind of car that makes strangers roll down their windows just to ask you about it. Down to number 6, and here, surprisingly, we have the BMW 5 Series, the F10, made between 2011 and 2016. Now, BMW nailed the design of the F10 5 Series. It's conservative enough to look professional, but it's still sporty enough to hint at performance. Now, with classic BMW proportions, angel eye headlights, and executive styling, well, the F10 carries real authority. Inside, the cabin feels expensive. You've got leather seats, high-quality materials, and BMW's iDrive infotainment system. The higher trims like the 550i feel downright fast, while the 528i and the 535i, well, they offer a balance of efficiency and luxury. And the best part? Well, you can find these cars everywhere. So parts and service are easy to source, keeping ownership very manageable. And a clean black or silver example instantly signals that you're successful. Down to number 5, and it's a favorite of mine. We're talking here the Jaguar XK, manufactured between 2007 and 2010. Now, the Jaguar XK is one of the prettiest cars of the 2000s, full stop. The long sweeping hood and the coupe silhouette look just as good pulling into a downtown penthouse garage as they do outside a golf course. Excuse me. If you step inside, you're instantly met with classic Jaguar luxury. Wood trim, stitched leather, and a cockpit that's designed for comfort. The XK's styling is timeless, and even though its performance may not shock modern sports cars, well, it delivers more than enough power for highway cruising and for weekend fun. So if you want an affordable car that looks like you inherited it from a wealthy uncle, this car is your ticket. Down to number 4. Here we have the Mercedes-Benz SL, specifically the R230s, manufactured in the early 2000s all the way through to 2012. Now, the R230 SL was once the car of choice for Hollywood actors and surgeons, and its image hasn't faded. Even today, people see that retractable hard top folding down and they immediately associate it with wealth. Inside, you get heated leather seats, premium audio, and luxury touches that simply scream class. Now, while some of these cars suffer from expensive suspension issues, if you find a well-maintained example, well, you're essentially driving a six-figure convertible on Corolla money. The SL's design, especially in silver or black, has aged gracefully. You'll look like a power player every time you roll up in it. Down to number 3, the Hyundai Equus, manufactured between 2011 and 2016. Now, the Hyundai Equus is a sleeper luxury giant. Few people even recognize it on the road, which obviously works in your favor. They'll just see a massive luxury sedan with a commanding presence and assume it's something exotic. Inside, it's fully loaded, massaging seats, rear passenger controls, premium audio, and a silky smooth ride. The Equus was Hyundai's attempt to crack into the luxury market. And while it never gained mainstream traction, well, it means used examples are dirt cheap if you compare it to their Mercedes or Lexus rivals. So for under 18,000, you're rolling in S-Class levels of comfort without the S-Class bills. Down to number 2. Here we've got the Audi A8, specifically the D3, manufactured between 2003 and 2010. Now, the Audi A8 D3 still looks surprisingly modern. Its aluminium construction means less rust, and the interiors were incredibly advanced for their time. Full leather, real wood, and I promise you, some of the best seats that you'll ever sit in. The Quattro's all-wheel drive system adds grip and confidence, making this one of the best year-round luxury sedans that you can buy. You can drive one into a business meeting, and I promise you, no one will question your financial stability. Now, despite being over a decade old, its road presence rivals today's new A8s. Few cars under 15,000 can make such a strong impression. So, we're down to number 1, the cheapest car that makes you look the richest. And at number 1, we have the Tesla Model X, manufactured between 2015 and 2017. Now, nothing screams modern wealth like a Tesla Model X. The Falcon wing doors are an instant crowd pleaser, and the massive touchscreen still looks futuristic even today. It was the $100,000 status SUV when it was new, and trust me, the design has barely changed. The interior offers spacious seating for the family, lots of tech features, and, of course, that all-important Tesla badge that signals both innovation and affluence. So for 25,000 to 35,000, you're buying into the image of a Silicon Valley entrepreneur or a Wall Street investor without the steep buy-in. If you pull up in a Model X and nobody will guess you scored it for Camry money. So that makes it the number one choice. So now, as I promised earlier, here are a couple of honorable mentions. So we're talking here the 1990s Rolls-Royce or the Bentley. Now, if you really want to flex the Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit or the Bentley Turbo R from the 90s, both of those are unbeatable. That giant grille and the Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament, well, they make an instant statement. If you park one in front of a high-end hotel, people will assume you're worth millions. But sadly, you guessed it, here's the catch. While you can buy one for under $20,000, the upkeep, I'm afraid, is pretty savage. Think $3,000 brake jobs, $5,000 suspension repairs, and mechanics who can only work on these cars. So it's the ultimate cheap to buy but expensive to own play. Still, if you can stomach the costs, nothing looks richer. So here's the takeaway. You don't need to spend new luxury money to drive something that looks like $1 million. From practical European wagons to Italian coupes and even Teslas, the used market is filled with cars that trick the eye and they elevate your image without emptying your wallet. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these cars would you pick if you wanted to look rich on a budget? Do me a favor and drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss our next deep dive into the smartest car buying decisions that you can ever make. So until next time, my friends, drive smart, look sharp, save money, and I'll see you guys on the next one.